The ground beyond the door forgot itself. One instant we were walking, the next we were falling through a throat of fire. The chamber we left above us peeled away like a mask, and beneath it, the world bared its furnace, the core of the invader, waiting since the first nightmare for the first sleeper to stumble. The descent was not fast. It was a slow collapse, as if gravity had grown tired of being polite. Walls of embered stone slid past us, cracked open with veins of white heat that spat sparks like gnats made of confession. The shaft breathed around us, wide then narrow, lungs drawing in and sighing out. The air pressed so close it felt like a hand clamped over the mouth. The children clutched at me, then at each other, then let go, their bodies learning the truth of falling, that hands can be anchors, or weights, or both at once. My wife drifted beside me, her hair fanning out like smoke, the wound behind her ear glowing faintly, pulsing as though eager to answer this fire with its own. My daughter lagged half a step above me, her eyes narrowed to slits, silver irises cutting through the dark. Her lips parted and her teeth grazed themselves, hunger breathing beside resolve. We were not falling alone. The whispers fell with us. At first they came faint, like static in a dead radio. Then they grew teeth. "You were a mistake," my wife's voice told my daughter, and it was her voice exactly. Intonation, hesitation, even the weariness at the edges. My daughter's eyes widened, not in anger, but in recognition of an old suspicion suddenly given flesh. "You never wanted us?" A child's voice sighed inside my ear, my own child's tone braided with my guilt. The words landed harder than any blow. I flinched, and in that flinch was 20 years of failure condensed into the size of a breath. "Better to drain him now," the core purred to my daughter, "then watch him fail you later." I saw her jaw clench, saw the hunger ripple down her body like a shiver. "You'll never be more than a wound," it crooned to my wife. The wound behind her ear pulsed obediently, beaten in the rhythm of the accusation, as if her own body wanted to agree. The shaft glowed red, white, red again. We fell through heat and confession. The walls seemed to narrow just enough that we brushed them, searing our sleeves, blistering our skin. Sparks clung to us like insects, biting into our flesh with light that tasted of acid. The angel fell with us without falling. He did not tumble. He drifted like light, always near, always just where our eyes landed when panic rose too high. His wings were ruined still, but their tatters streamed in the heat like flags carried through too many wars. "Hold," he said, not loud, but the word found each of us in the back of the neck, like a father's hand stopping a child before the street. "Do not answer. Do not name what it calls you." The core inhaled. The whispers sharpened. The eldest torch flared unbidden, swinging up as though to strike an enemy who wasn't there. The middle child's scroll unrolled, its chain slithering around his mother's wrist, tightening as if the core's will had crawled down the ink. The youngest raised his whistle, not to ward, but to wound, the silent blast swelling inside his cheeks. My wife's wound grew hot enough that the skin around it smoked, ready to fire. But at whom? At me? At herself? My daughter's jaw flexed, her teeth touching my wrist in a stutter she almost committed to. We were seconds from breaking, seconds from turning on each other before the core even showed itself. "Hold," the angel repeated, his voice bending the shaft around us. For a heartbeat, we did. For a heartbeat, The whispers faltered, as though even the core needed to breathe. Then we broke. The shaft yawned wider, as though even gravity was afraid of what waited below. We landed hard, not on stone, but on something softer, slicker. The surface shifted beneath us like a tide of flesh, rolling with the breaths of dreamers trapped too deep to wake. The heat here was thick enough to chew. My tongue blistered on air. My eyes watered until the world swam. And then the core revealed itself.
Wow, I really enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see what's next.